You got guys that punch hard and hit hard, and you got guys that come out and win a few rounds. But nothing really was tough.
Okay, a lot of people are saying that Usyk heavyweight run isn't a lot of fighters at heavyweight, of course, because he only fought, what's that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 fighters at heavyweight.
And, I think Oleksandr Usyk is an exceptional fighter, but you need to match him with someone that can actually match his work rate. Okay, and for me, Andrzej Kabiel can match his work rate. He's going to go to the body. He's going to follow a game.
Floyd Mayweather has pushed back against the growing praise surrounding Oleksandr Usyk, arguing that fans are too quick to crown new legends without considering the full picture. Declaring himself the greatest fighter of all time, Mayweather insists that no one before or after him, including Usyk, compares to his legacy. He highlights his own undefeated record, multi-division dominance, and the elite level of opponents he faced as proof of his superior standing in boxing history. Mayweather believes Usyk, while skilled, is overrated and has not faced the caliber of competition needed to be considered among the all-time greats. Supporting this viewpoint, critics like Showbiz, the adult, also question the legitimacy of Usyk's resume, arguing that apart from Tyson Fury, most of Usyk's victories came against fighters who lack iconic status or were past their prime. This raises doubts about whether Usyk's achievements truly place him in the same conversation as legends like Muhammad Ali or Evander Holyfield.
Yeah, I'll let you know. There's no fighter that will ever be better than me. There's no fighter that wasn't better than me before me or after me or when I'm long gone. I'm the best.
Analysts argue that Oleksandr Usyk's brilliance is better appreciated in the context of pound-for-pound rankings rather than as part of the all-time heavyweight legacy. They view him as a master technician exceptional in footwork, defense, and ring, making him one of the modern greats. However, they stop short of labeling him an all-time heavyweight legend, suggesting his greatness stems more from his unique style and adaptability than from victories over historically elite opponents. As a result, while Usyk is undeniably among the top active boxers today, his place among boxing's all-time immortals remains up for debate.
That Usyk heavyweight run isn't a lot of fighters at heavyweight, of course, because he only fought, what's that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 fighters at heavyweight. But they saying that it's full of quality, right? I want you to understand, full of quality. Witherspoon isn't an all-time great heavyweight. His brother, Tim Witherspoon, you can argue. But Chance Witherspoon, no. Derek Chisora is not an all-time great heavyweight. He's not. He's a fantastic competitor, but if you look at who he fought and look at who he lost to, Chisora is not an all-time great heavyweight. He's not. Dubois is not yet an all-time great heavyweight. Look at who he fought, who he struggled with, who he lost to. Dubois is not an all-time great heavyweight. So we're left with, when you say quality, we're left with Tyson the Gypsy King Fury and Anthony A.J. Joshua. Now, if you guys think that A.J. is an all-time great heavyweight, you can. I can understand that. I definitely can. There's an argument to be made. But Anthony Joshua, when you think about him and a lot of ops from other great heavyweights, Anthony Joshua lost to the likes of Ruiz, been knocked out by Ruiz, was knocked out by Dubois. Anthony Joshua, I'm not sure if you would consider him an all-time great heavyweight, but you can make an argument. Tyson Fury definitely can. So beating Tyson Fury twice is really Usyk's.
Critics argue that many of Usyk's opponents fell short not because he was unbeatable, but because they failed to effectively use their own skill sets. Even fighters who faced him more than once struggled to adapt and adjust. Analysts suggest that boxers like Michael Hunter or Joe Joyce, who have demonstrated stronger ring awareness and strategic thinking, might have posed a greater challenge. A key insight is that Usyk's toughest test would come from someone who can match his movement and timing, abilities that most heavyweights are neither trained for nor prepared to counter. Instead, many opponents entered the ring without a solid game plan, ultimately making Usyk's path to victory far easier.
Let's talk about Usyk. His performance was, okay, that's number one. And many of you say, well, Usyk is a top 10 all-time great heavyweight. I don't agree. Because Usyk has only had like 7 heavyweight fights. Is very stacked within those 7 fights. But really, it's hard to put him past people who's had 30+, 40+ fights and just had a great all-time career at heavyweight. But what I can say is that Oleksandr Usyk is one of the greatest fighters, pound for pound ever. And I put him on my Mount Rushmore today. So I don't have him as an all-time great heavyweight, but I do have him as an all-time great pound for pound fighter. And where do I put him there? Pretty.
Showbiz argues that it's too soon to place Oleksandr Usyk in the same league as legends like Muhammad Ali and Evander Holyfield. He believes Usyk's resume doesn't yet warrant inclusion at that elite level. In Showbiz's view, the greatest fighters in history earned their status not just through skill, but by consistently defeating top-tier competition. He points out that even Usyk's 5 best opponents wouldn't make the top 5 on Ali or Holyfield's list, highlighting the clear distinction between being dominant in your own era and being one of the all-time greats across all eras.
On Daniel Dubois after the fight, and I actually think I'm, being fair in being a bit harsh on him. I think Daniel Dubois is an exceptional fighter, but there is something, where it's a confidence thing. And I think Oleksandr Usyk, give him a lot of credit. His jab looked exceptional on Saturday, and really that first, jab that landed on Daniel Dubois, it snapped his head back, and it was a powerful jab. It actually reminded me of Artur Beterbiev's jab when it's, when he really snaps it, and it was obviously a very powerful shot. So I think Daniel Dubois, I think he was confused by Usyk, and I think, he just looked so discouraged to me. Again, take nothing away from Oleksandr Usyk. I thought it was an exceptional performance. And to be honest, he really didn't even get out of second gear. And he didn't even need to. Now, obviously, there's a lot of, talk about what he's going to do next. In my opinion, really, there's only one fight that I would actually want to see. For me, that's Adric Caballel. I think Adric Caballel is someone that, number one, knows how to go to the body. I think if Oleksandr Usyk does have a weakness, it is the body. I think Adric Caballel can follow a disciplined game plan. I think he's had a good string of wins. And I think his stamina is very good as well. I think Oleksandr Usyk is, winning a lot of these fights based on his speed, his stamina, and his footwork. These big heavyweights like Daniel Dubois, Anthony Joshua, Tyson Fury, they cannot live with the pace that Usyk is setting. Daniel Dubois was knacking after 3 rounds in that fight. Okay, so they can't live with the pace. So again, I think Oleksandr Usyk is an exceptional fighter, but you need to match him with someone that can actually match his work rate. Okay, and for me, Adric Caballel can match his work rate. He's going to go to the body.
When Daniel Dubois faced Oleksandr Usyk, many anticipated a fierce battle, but post-fight analysis revealed several flaws in Dubois's performance. Critics pointed to his poor footwork, lack of head movement, and inability to maintain consistent pressure. This led to a broader question. Was Usyk truly dominant, or was Dubois simply not up to the task? While Usyk's victory was clear, some argue the fight highlighted Dubois's shortcomings more than it showcased Usyk at his best. The underwhelming challenge reignited debates about the overall quality of opposition Usyk has faced in his heavyweight run.
I cannot put that over the likes of Evander the Real Deal Holyfield fighting and beating the likes of Riddick Bowe, beating the likes of George Foreman. When he beat George Foreman was a killer. Beating George Foreman, beating the likes of Iron Mike Tyson. He was a huge underdog there. Beating the likes of Larry Holmes, beating Michael Moorer, Evander beating Michael Dokes, as you guys know who that is and how good of a fighter he was. Evander the Real Deal Holyfield has a different brain. I cannot put Usyk with his 5 heavyweight opponents over heavyweights, great heavyweights who made careers at heavyweight. We all know what Muhammad Ali did. Muhammad Ali beat the who's who of heavyweight greats. He fought them all and he beat them, okay? But then you have guys like Larry Holmes who have beaten the Ernie Shavers, who have beaten the Ken Nortons. You have the likes of Jack Johnson, which when you look at his box rec, you see his record and you don't know what he had to.
Renowned trainer Teddy Atlas delivered a scathing assessment of Daniel Dubois's performance against Oleksandr Usyk, emphasizing Dubois's failure to adapt despite already having a sense of Usyk's power and movement. Atlas's main criticism was the lack of effective bodywork and a coherent game plan. He argued that Dubois approached the fight like a routine match instead of preparing for the kind of strategic chess match Usyk demands. This lack of tactical readiness left Dubois vulnerable to Usyk's rhythm and angles, making the eventual knockout feel almost inevitable. Atlas's critique reinforces the growing belief that many of Usyk's opponents simply aren't equipped to handle his cerebral high-Q style.
Very pro Dubois, and we were willing him on being a London boy and stuff like that. I thought he won the first round. thought Usyk won the second round, but I thought there was arguments for certainly giving Dubois the third round. But you could see, even if he was in the fight, things were starting to change after the second round. Usyk just had that extra little bit of class about him.
I'm not gonna lie, I didn't have him for any rounds. I just thought Usyk was so dominant, and that jab. And I'm not no boxing expert. I'm a casual. I'm a heavyweight casual. I just love to see big heavyweights box each other and knockouts. But I just feel like Usyk just was not even out of second gear. Like he didn't need to be. He just had him on that jab, and he just kept plowing away. And whenever Dubois tried to land like a big shot, like one of those big punches that you talk.
Usyk's dominant showing against Daniel Dubois impressed many analysts and further cemented his status as a technical master in the ring. Becoming a 3-time undisputed champion is a remarkable achievement, showcasing his ability to control fights with precision rather than sheer power, a hallmark of his style. Yet, despite these accolades, comparisons to Muhammad Ali still fall short. Ali's legacy extends far beyond titles. His cultural impact, the caliber of opponents he faced, and his legendary battles across eras set him apart. While Usyk may be considered great by today's standards, Ali remains a once-in-a-century icon whose legacy continues to overshadow all discussions of boxing greatness.